Howdy folks, I've got another AI music video. I need to clarify something, maybe correct a misperception that exists in the world today. This is in response to a few comments in my videos about AI, specifically folks that are saying that AI tools like Suno and Udio are copying music, as in photocopies are to paper, as in samples are to audio. So let's talk a little bit about how AI actually learns music and then reproduces music, okay? So first, let's think about how it learns. There's data collection. AI starts by collecting a large amount of music from various genres and styles, etc. And that's the most controversial part, because we're concerned about is our AI tools being trained on copyrighted material, not the topic of this video. Basically, AI is given a large data set, a large library of music to study. And then AI tools actually analyze the patterns. AI listens to the music and looks for patterns and learns about melodies and harmonies and rhythms, etc. The things that make music music. Figures out all the elements, how they work together. Think of it as AI is learning the language of music. And then the math kicks in. AI uses complex mathematical models to understand these different patterns that it hears and identifies. Important point is that AI is not memorizing songs. It's not extracting stems or tracks, bass lines and guitar parts and vocals, etc. It's learning the rules and the structures that make up music. That's very, very important to understand. It's not sampling, it's not copying. It's analyzing waveforms and time and space to figure out what music is. And then AI often receives human input by the trainers to help it identify and to generate a bunch of metadata and all sorts of information, so that AI learns this is jazz, this is classical, this is loud, this is soft, this is slow, this is sad, happy, etc. Okay? So now once it's learned, now it's got to generate music. So creating it from scratch is the most important thing that AI is doing. When AI generates music, it uses what it's learned to create something new. It's like a musician who studied a lot of music and then composes an original piece. Now it's not sampling, where you're actually taking parts and taking audio and then dragging it into your DAW or sampling it or chopping it or whatever. That's more stealing than AI learning is, but maybe that's fodder for a separate video. AI is generating new notes, new patterns, new vocals, whatever, based on its understanding of music. It's not taking chunks of old stuff and reusing them. That's the photocopying thing that several folks have brought up in my comments lately. AI is not doing that. Musicians are going to give AI, or even non-musicians, are going to give AI specific prompts, instructions, mood, style, tempo, whatever, genre, and then AI uses its understanding to compose or create new music, or in computer terms, just new audio that meets all the rules that it has learned about, to create new, unique musical pieces each time. It's not copying. It's not duplicating. It's creating new based on a variety of variables. And depending on how big the data set is, it could be millions and millions of songs. You never know. There are roughly, I want to say, 12 to 14 million songs under the BMG, Sony, Warner Chappell, the four bigs catalogs. 14 million or so. Spotify has about 100 million tracks on it. I'm sure that includes all the 14 million that I just mentioned. YouTube has about 800 million videos, and it's estimated that about 40% of those are music videos. So that's about 320 million music videos on YouTube today. So there's lots of places AI tools can go get data. And what percentage of that is copyrighted? Let the lawyers figure that stuff out. But there's lots of ways for these models to be trained. But the important point is that it's not sampling, it's not photocopying, it's not taking something that exists and spitting it back out. So let's think about an analogy here. Imagine teaching a new student how to play music. You give them a variety of sheet music. Well, you got to teach them how to play an instrument, how to read music. You give them some sheet music, and then eventually over time, they learn how to compose music of their own based on what they were taught, the patterns, the notes, the scales, the chords, the technique of the instrument, etc. They're not, when they create new music themselves, they're not creating a copy of something. They're not reproducing Beethoven or Van Halen or whatever. They are creating new music based on what they learned from those prior sources. And similarly, AI does the same thing. AI music tools learn from a large collection of music, in this case audio files, and then create new original stuff based on the algorithms, the knowledge, etc. AI tools are not copying, they're not looping, they're not sampling. They are using their knowledge, their math, etc. to generate fresh, new content based on how they were prompted, which triggers and reacts to metadata and all sorts of other stuff. So the key points to remember is that AI is learning patterns and structures. It's not learning specific songs. And then it generates new music based on the algorithms and the study. It does not copy or sample pre-existing materials. So all of you out there that are saying that AI tools are just copying music, I guess it's semantics as to how we define the word copy, but it's not sampling, duplicating audio. Now some folks can and have prompted these tools to create new music that sounds a lot like pre-existing works, but that's some very aggressive and creative prompting. And is it AI's fault that it's creating something that sounds like a pre-existing work? It's just being told what to do. If there's anything illegal about that, it's the prompter that's trying to get this tool to create a copy of a pre-existing work. The person prompting that is intentionally trying to create a copy, which is not really cool. So AI doesn't copy, it just reproduces based on what it learned. That's my main point. Hope that was useful, interesting. Hit me up in the comments, light me up like always. And if you're not going to do that, go make something great. Thanks for watching.